Welcome to Belgrade, Serbia, and a special program all about refugees and migrants traveling through Europe. Can you believe that over the last 2 years, 95,000 people have traveled through Serbia looking for a better life? For many reasons, some because of war, some because of disasters, violence, all sorts of different reasons. And today, some 3,500 of them are here in Serbia, and a few of them that you can see here, looking very lovely, are at the Adra Community Center, just long for in this world, and 2 children that are just finishing this project for us. We will see by the end of this program whether they've been busy enough to actually finish putting all of these things in place. It's an excellent program. I'm looking excited to talk to some of the leaders here and to some of the actual recipients of the program. The first person I really need to talk to is you, Igor, because you are Adra Serbia. You're the country director. And actually, the first thing I need to do is you need to correct me because I was just a little bit low on those numbers I gave. How many migrants have passed through Serbia?
950,000. So it's like almost 1 million.
It's almost 1 million. And I know because 2 years ago I was here. We were down at the railway station. And the trains, they were just passing through, and Adra was involved right from the beginning.
That's right. Us and many other organizations. It was hectic time. It was up to 10,000 people arriving daily in many of the towns along the road through Western Balkans or this part of Southeast Europe. Then we were simply pushed into a position to work with outreach teams to find people in the parks, thousands of them, and try to see what are the needs and to respond as much as possible. But then around 2 years ago, when this flow was stopped or very much slowed down, we were faced with people stranded in Serbia by choice or by necessity and staying here for up to a year or 2. So then we had to change the approach. So what we are in now is the small village or a facility or community center we built.
And so you did have a little kind of drop-in center along with other charities down in the city center. You now have this facility. And how many people do you have coming through here?
Well, daily up to 80 or 100 who are anyway accommodated in the government facility nearby, like a few kilometers from here. So this was strategically placed in relative proximity to their accommodation there. So they daily come and they spend the time in quality time and normalize their life, I hope.
And normalize is an important word.
That's right.
Whether you've decided to permanently stay here and make Serbia your home, as a number have
That's
done,
right, yes.
Or whether you're still hoping to move on to a final destination.
That's right, yes.
So we will be talking to some of them. We will be learning how they are, if we want to use that word, normalized. In fact, let's talk to one of them right now. Let's talk to Satud. I'm not sure I pronounced your name right. Very nice to see you.
Thank you, me too.
What is the benefits of coming here to this center for you?
Here is very good place for me because when I want to come here is very relaxing for me because my children can to play here and learn painting, and I can to use another class, fitness and Zumba and language class, Serbian, English, German, and use the swing class. Very enjoy time for me.
If this center didn't exist, how would that be for you?
Before here, I'm very bad time because I don't know what. My time not good for me because I cannot to use in the class, but very boring time not good time. But when I open in the Adra for Women Center, here very enjoy time for me, because when I was very so sad, I can to come here, and all people here very kind, very friendly with refugee, and helping refugee and speak with me, and very enjoy time for me. That's great time.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Thank you for talking with us.
Adra.
And with your beautiful children as well. I met them outside. Very, very nice.
Thank you so much.
In a moment, we're going to talk to the centre manager here at the community centre. So, Miriana, you are the centre manager here. What kind of programs are you running here?
Okay, let me introduce you into the context in which we work. Refugee crisis, you were talking about this, lasted, the peak was in 2016. Then this Balkan route that went through Bulgaria, Macedonia, Serbia, and then to Europe, was closed at the end of 2016. Then we had a new situation. We had people who were stranded in Serbia, then those people were staying in Serbia for a longer period of time. They were here approximately between 1.5, 2 or 2.5 years. And they had new needs, and we faced new challenges. Those challenges were educational needs for the children. Then we have a lot of distressed people, psychologically distressed. They needed some kind of psychosocial support. So we organized our program according to the programs according to these needs. And then what we offer to our friends, so we don't see them as service users, but as friends. We offer them a lot of educational activities, psychosocial support. They have recreational activities. Recreation is very important in this context. When you are in the camp without opportunity to interact with people from local community. And this is what we can offer them here. Socializing moments, and this is where they can feel like, living normal life.
And I'm glad you used the word friends, because that's what I see here when I'm looking around this room, that, okay, you may be the centre leader, but together I see smiling faces, I see interaction, I see the children doing things. They're doing some up at the front of the hall right now. So that relationship's very important.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you will see when you talk with them. They actually have impact on us also. So they're not just receiving any help from us, but we are learning from them a lot. So
It's a two-way. It's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me talk to Miriana. Miriana, you're the vocational training. That's your area. What kind of things are people learning that's going to be practical help to them in their lives?
Yes. The main goal of the project is to professionally empower unaccompanied minors and separated children through the vocational trainings and business literacy workshops, and in that way they can be better integrated into job markets in Serbia and destination countries.
So what kind of training are you doing? You're teaching them to be mechanics?
Yes, auto mechanics, forklifts, makeup artists, tailors, painters, and...
Yes, I saw yesterday some women very, very busy on the sewing machines, learning the skills there.
Yes, they are enjoying that, yeah.
Is this just vocational, or do they actually get a certificate that will?
Yes, they have. They get a certificate at the end, and it's recognized in Europe.
Have you had evidence that it is recognized in Europe as
Yes.
migrants have moved on?
Yes, one boy told us that he has found a job in France.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good. Let me talk to Massa.
Thank you.
You're one of those that has received the vocational training. What did you learn?
I learned من اینجا یک سالی که اومدم اینجا با مرکز آشنا شدم. بعد اینجا زبان یاد گرفتم. اول زبان انگلیسی رو به طور یه مقدماتی همینجوری کم یاد گرفتم. بعد موفق شدم دیپلم آرایشگری بگیرم. بعض اوقات اینجا هم مشغول به کار.
Okay, so you have the certificate in makeup. I understand now that you are so good at it that you're training other people?
Yes. آره.
Yes.
میتونم آره.
Yeah, I can make up other people.
Okay. And you really enjoy helping others?
Yes.
و واقعا تو لذت می‌بینی از اینکه بقیه رو کمک بکنی.
آره خیلی خوشحالم.
Yes, I'm so happy.
خیلی از خانمایی که از کمپ میان همه رو میکاپ میکنم اینجا بعد
A lot of women come from the camp and I help them to make up them also.
Okay, so I guess you were very busy today because everybody, I hope you made up some of the leaders as well. In fact, I wish I'd seen you before the program. I
من دیدم
might
سرت
look
خیلی
a
امروز
bit better. So thank you very much for talking to us. After the break, music is one of the things that happens here, and we are going to go and hear a children's choir. You're the choir leader here. I can see some children behind you. Just introduce it to me.
Yeah, these children love to sing and they do it from all their heart. We meet regularly as well to sing and learn Serbian languages, teamwork and discipline. They sing on Farsi, Serbian and English languages. Today with us is part of youth choir Duga from South Banat, and they will join us. And this place is for us real home, and that's why we made a song. Adra is like a real home, and that song we will sing today for you, and that song is our anthem. Hear us.
Okay, the best thing to do then, I really think, is to turn to you and to listen to your beautiful music with those lovely smiling faces.
I kad gleda, digni glavu, nisi sam, kad si tužan i usamljen, i kad ne znaš kud i gde, sve ti crno izgleda, glavu nisi sam, kad si tužan i usamljen, i kad ne znaš kud i gde, sve ti crno izgleda, digni glavu, nisi sam. Adra je pravi dom, znanja stičeš ti, da se osmeh povrati. Fitness, futbal, četkice, tvoju dušu lečit će. Budi deo centra tog, humanog i društvenog. Kolektiv je Adrin taj, tu za tebe uvek znaj. Adra je pravi dom, ruke širi svetu svom. Ova Adra moj je dom, nosim je u srcu svom. Adra je pravi dom, ruke širi svetu svom. Ova Adra moj je dom, nosim je u srcu svom. Adra je pravi dom, ruke širi svetu svom. Ova Adra moj je dom, nosim je u srcu svom.
You know, there's times when I really want to pull my phone out and take a photograph, and I saw that happening during the singing there. Wonderful, special song that Adra is my home. And such a positive story. Somebody that was in that choir, I saw you there, Fahid. You were singing, and you play football, and you're an artist. What's your favorite activity?
Football and painting.
Okay, let's start with the football now, because I know, the World Cup has started. You've got to be very honest with me. Who do you think's going to win? Well, tell me who your favorite player is.
My favorite player is Mohamed Salah and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay.
And I think this year will Germany or Brazil.
Okay. I will come back in a few weeks' time and see if you're right. But tell me about your art. When did you start this painting?
Last night.
Okay. And you've been painting since a couple of years?
Yes. Like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and you started in an art class here, and now you have your work actually exhibited in different places.
Yes.
Yeah. One of your exhibitions, you were actually raising funds?
چی؟ Yes. And I give that money to the sick boy. His name is Nemanja. He's from Serbia also.
And one of the great things is that not only raising funds, because of your activities and your skills, you got an invitation to go and visit a very, very important person in Serbia. Who did you go to see?
President of Serbia.
The president. I've never been invited to meet the president of Serbia. I've never even been invited to meet the prime minister in my own country. But he was impressed with what you're doing. And you're now a citizen of Serbia, is that right?
But they just give us a paper that it's show that we are citizen of Serbia, and
yeah,
they say that it is.
Okay, thank you for talking to us. We're going to come back at the end and see how your painting is going. I must just say hello to Fatima, because you're sitting quietly behind here. The art is good for you as well. You enjoy the art.
میگه اول با یه سلامی بهت بگن و پشت سر فرهادی خیلی ساکت نشستی. هنر چه احساسی به تو میده؟
منم سلام دارم خدمتشون و هنر خیلی خوبه. خب خیلی خوشحالم میکنه و وقتی که نقاشی میکشم از اینکه مهاجرم فکرمو دور میکنه.
Yes, I say also hello to you, and I'm so happy to when I'm doing something artistically, And when I'm painting something, my mind is really free now. I don't think so a little other things, I mean, from immigration or something else.
Okay, so this gives you something positive to do while you're here.
یه احساس مثبت بهتون میده
Yes,
وقتی اینجا
بله،
هستین.
بله.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Carry on with your painting. We will look back in the end.
ممنون ازت، نقاشی ادامه بده، برمیگردیم پیشت.
And I should just say to you as well, there's a voice you can hear in the background that you can't see his face. Maybe actually, the cameraman's right in front of me. Just swing your camera around to introduce Ali Syed,
Yeah.
or Syed Ali, that way around.
سید علی.
He's our official translator for today. We're going to move now. We've had music, we've had art, and we're going to move to the Women's Centre and what normally is happening here on a day-to-day basis. Daniela, you run the program here in this room, in this Women's Centre. Why is this program so important?
It's very important for migrant women and children because they make a very sensitive population because of their cultural differences. It's much different here and in Middle East. And according to that, we have organized various activities that meet their needs. We have legal counseling, we have psychological counseling, then occupational activities like sewing and makeup, recreational activities like fitness, different workshops, creative workshops like making natural soaps, decoupage on wood and glass, making magnets, and so on.
I understand that when this centre opened, it was kind of 90% men coming here, and then
Yes.
gradually the number of women has increased.
Yes.
Why do you think there's a reason for that?
Because I want to believe we have good programs for them, and they can feel relaxed here. They can, like Fatima said, they can forget about their everyday problems. When they paint, when they do something, they're just concentrated on that activity, and maybe that helps them to feel more relaxed and more positive.
So they're feeling more relaxed, more positive. How do you feel being part of this program?
I feel very good because as a psychologist, I like to help people. That's something I really enjoy doing.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me turn to one of the ladies here. Sahia, how do you benefit being with the Ladies Centre?
چه استفاده از این سنتر میکنی؟
I learned a lot of skills to be a better future for me and my family.
What did you like best?
بهترینش کدوم بود؟
Decoupage.
Okay, so you like the crafts.
میگه تو دوست داری دکوپاژ بکنیم، نه بکشی چیزی.
Yes, sure.
Has the counselling and the other areas, do they make you feel better as well?
چیز دیگه جای دیگه هست که احساستو بهتر بکنه؟
در اینجا؟
در اینجا.
When I come, yes, for a sewing class, a new schedule, go to a new schedule sewing class is very interesting for me because make me happy, give me a new material and making a dress for me and my daughter. I'm very happy.
Okay, and I can see the smile on your face. Thank you very much. That's the Women's Centre in brief. They do lots of things. We are going to move now into education because that's also vitally important. Pavle, I've seen you're multi-talented because you were playing the keyboard there, but education is your principal area. What kind of things are you doing here that help more the adolescents and the children?
Yeah, we have a few different aspects of helping in education. One or primarily is we helping and provide transportation for those children to go to the primary governmental primary schools and provide the culture mediator who help them to easily integrate with other children. And the other way, we are held classes and educated workshops here so that can gain the knowledge, because most of them are in the transit for more than 1 year or 2, and in that period when children has to go to school, they are in the transit. So we try to compensate that and to provide them as much knowledge as they should need in their future life. Yeah.
And of course, it's quite difficult to integrate them into the local school because they come speaking Farsi and maybe some English, and suddenly this language that I can hardly understand myself, they're going to school in Serbian. So you're helping them with kind of moderators?
Yeah, that's quite challenging, that's true. But children are very talented and they can speak, they
learn fast.
They learn fast, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And as you might see, Serbian language is very easy because small children speak it very, very good.
Yeah, don't tell me that story. I find it one of the most difficult languages, and even my PA at work, she's Serbian, and she speaks better English than I do. How is your Serbian?
سربی تو چطوره؟
سربیم در حد خوبی نیست، عالی نیست کنن سربی صحبت.
So not so good.
Yeah, I understand you.
میفهمم تو درک می‌کنم.
I understand. But how is the education program helping you?
درس‌ها چجوریه؟ اینجا چجوری درس‌ها به تو کمک میکنه؟
درسایی که مثلا علم فیزیک، علم ماتماتیک، علم جغرافیا، درسای خیلی شیرینیه و بیشتر باشون.
We learn a lot of subjects like mathematics, geography, and physics. So this is the useful for our future.
Okay, and let me turn to you as well.
Hello, nice to see you.
And you, tell me how the education is benefiting you. What are you doing?
It's very important for me, and it's very great for me. When I came from Afghanistan, I couldn't continue my study. Since I came in Serbia to Adra to provide me to start my school again, and I learned a lot of positive things in Adra, and Adra is like a home for me.
That's what I like to hear. Adra is like a hot. I'm glad to be joining your family. Thank you both very much. One of the things about being at home, it's important to me, is I need the internet. Somehow I can't live with it anymore. And so in just a moment, we're going to see what happens with the internet, with internet cafes here at this center. Nabi, you like the internet?
Yes, of course.
So do I. How important is it to you here that there's an internet cafe?
Because there is important for us because we can call for our family and everywhere, and we can speak with our friend, and we are use that for playing the games, for watching movies, and for listen for songs, and this is good for us, and it's important we can speak with our family and friends.
So it keeps you connected with home. That's very important.
Yes.
Okay. Is that the same for you? What's the most important, useful thing about the cafe?
Internet. I can see internet and technology like our life. I mean, our life is made on technology. I mean, everything's when we are going through by technology, by computer. What I need or whatever I need, I'm going computer. Like now, I graduated from IT, computer programming. That's like computer is my life. Whatever I need something, I'm going to computer, internet. I mean, searching and finding from them, and I'm learning a lot of things from internet. Because we don't have teacher what I need, we don't have that here. Just I'm going to by internet. I'm searching there. I'm so much learning from internet.
Okay, thank you very much. We all live with it today. We can't live without the internet, so thank you for sharing that. We're going to move on, and we need to have a look at workshops. We need to learn together. They happen all over the compound. To talk to the workshops, we need to move all over the compound, not just in here. Do you see how these girls are progressing? Oh, and they've got another helper as well now. Very, very good. That looks excellent. They happen everywhere. And behind me, we've got children. They're involved in crafts. And tell me about the workshops.
Well, special attention is given to children here every day. We are working on the development of their skills and education through different workshops. In our creative crafts, we use different materials and techniques. So we find it very important to play, have fun, because that is useful for them. They can learn our language. So also we find important that they can learn how to communicate, how to share toys, and how to respect each other. So as you can see, they're in the middle of a creative workshop. They made some animals and play.
They look like they're having fun. In fact, I wish I was sitting there instead of standing here in front of the camera.
You can if you want.
I'll come and join in
Okay.
afterwards. That's excellent. Thank you for talking to us. And lots of workshops happen all over this place. You know, actually, it's nice to stand at the front of the room and now look this direction. With this mural in front, it looks lovely. Igor is smiling at me. You're all smiling as well. And there are 3 special guests at the back here. They've been smiling so far because they've not had to talk. But I want to introduce you to one of them right now, and this is João Martins. You are the ADRA director for Europe.
Yeah.
You've come to this center. You came here a while back, but have you seen a difference in the way this center has developed?
It's amazing. It's wonderful to be here and to see these wonderful faces, and it's amazing the job that is being done here by all this committed staff, all the volunteers, all the directors, the people that are managing this center. It's wonderful to be here and to see how the progress and the way that they care, the way that they have this kind of connection to the people that are coming from other places and that feel disadvantaged in their way of life as they come here. So for us in ADRA is really an honor and a bit of a pride to be here with them and to understand what is being done and how much is being achieved by these people. Yes.
And of course, we're here in ADRA Belgrade today, but you represent, is it 38 countries?
No, 30.
30, oh, so I just promoted you. But there are some activities according to need in other places, again, for migrants.
Yes, of course. Well, this afternoon we will have the chance to take a little bit more an insight about that, but especially here in the Balkan route, it was wonderful to see for the last 2 years how the country offices on this route were involved in trying to provide for the refugees that were coming from Afghanistan, from Syria, from Iraq, from other places, and ADRA actually was recognized in several of these countries as one of the most active and one of the organizations that was providing in the most effective and effective way for these communities. And the good thing also about ADRA is that we were not just there at that time, but we continue to give this support. So this community center is a good example of that. It's not just about humanitarian aid, but it's also about development. It's also about giving education and providing for a better life conditions for all these people that have to flee from their homes, and so they have to find their way of life again.
And that's where the word development comes in, that is so important. The Adventist Development and Relief Agency, and of course as well as much as we love Joan and he is ADRA, there are other organizations, fantastic organizations, doing work across Europe. Within our community, there's Adventist Help. I've met a lot of local churches doing stuff, and we'll come back, as you said, we'll come back to more of that this afternoon. But, you know, we can talk the serious stuff, but what's more important than sport? That's where we're going to go to next. I just said sport was the most important thing, and this comes from a man that in the middle of the World Cup has not turned his television on yet. Because I actually like the outdoor activities. I like kayaking and hiking and different things like that. We crossed over the Danube to get here this morning, and I saw that river and I thought, where is my kayak? I don't know whether you kayak or not, you could take me up. But you're in charge of sport here.
Yeah, I am actually, and I would love to say first what we are doing here. First of all, it was just football for boys and for the girls who wanted to play it also. We have professional trainer who is playing every day with them, improving their skills. But what is more important than like learning to play football? They are learning how to be a team players, how to be leaders, how to deal with the failure if that happens, and also how to respect each other. During the time, we saw that women also need some kind of activities, so fitness was really good idea for them because somehow it is familiar to them.
Oh, this is where the Zumba came in, is it?
Yeah, but what is like also behind all of those things, they have their own space there. They have their free time, and it sounds silly, but they're actually resting there from their daily routine and everything. Actually, they are practicing, but somehow they're resting. So for example, when I finished my first training with them, and when I saw those smiles, I knew that sport is one of the things that we should keep.
Okay, so the sport is benefiting them, and we're going to go to I think a keen footballer in a second. Yep. How does it benefit you working in a center like this?
Actually, through the sports, we are making connection with them. Like they can see us. We are employees here, you know, and they are seeing us like some employees here. But when we are doing those things together, when we are playing, losing games together, winning games together, like doing some exercise, they can see that we are all together. So for me, for example, it is good because I can make good relation with them based on trust. So my next steps will be more easier when I have that relation with them.
Okay, so let me go to Wahid. What's your sport?
It's football.
Football.
Yeah.
Do you think I should ask him who's going to win the World Cup? Yeah.
Yeah.
چه کسی برنده میشه توی جام جهانی؟ چه تیمی؟
رونالدو.
رونالدو.
I think I'm learning a lesson here. I don't know if there's anybody in this room that's saying Ronaldo is not the best player. I don't know. So he is your hero.
Yeah.
قهرمان توه رونالدو. Yes.
So you like the football? Do you play other sports here as well?
فقط فوتبال دوسته یا ورزش‌های دیگه هم انجام میدی اینجا؟
Football.
Just football.
And your football is getting better every day.
هر روز فوتبالت بهتر میشه. Yes.
So in 4 years' time, are you going to be one of the players in the World Cup?
4 سال دیگه یکی از بازیکن‌های جام جهانی میشی؟ I don't know.
that was a very difficult question to ask, but it's your favorite thing here. You just love playing football.
Yeah.
سوال سختی بود ولی این یکی از ورزش‌های محبوب توئه که دوست داری انجامش بدی.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and hear some more from Igor. So, Igor, we're coming back to you. I don't know. You're sitting down, I'm actually quite jealous because these tables are filled with food, and everybody here is eating or being very polite, and thank you. I'm going to take one of these now because I can have a rest for a minute or two while Igor tells us why the table and maybe the contents on it is so important, and I'm going to enjoy this.
Thank you, Victor. Well, today we are together, definitely. We from this side and all the folks watching from that side. And among all the differences, there is one very strong common shared thing. And this is that all of us are in search for a home. And I would like today to talk together about our search for a home. So I'm not talking about searching for a roof and walls, because home is something different. Home is a place where you can be safe, where you can belong, where you can be with people you love, and to love the people who are there, and to work what you love. So if I ask anyone, is there a possibility to find a home on this earth? Well, if you watch the news, I think the answer will be, it's not possible on this earth. If you turn on the news, you'll see many bad news. You'll hear and watch people getting angry, hostile toward each other. You'll see hatred, fears, hostility, darkness. And the news keep reminding us that the place we are living, the earth is a dark, cold, and dangerous place. And it keeps reminding us about the darkness in our soul, if I may say. Well, my problem with the news, with these news, is that they are telling only one part of the story. And if I focus on these kinds of news, on these facts, I'll easily get depressed, and my heart will be getting smaller and smaller. What I need is a look and focus on the other part of the truth about this earth and about the good news. So I would like to talk about two good news. The good news about the earth and the human race, and secondly, the good news about the future of this earth. Well, first, may you heed the good news about this earth and be encouraged. When I talk about good news, I think about so many beautiful things going on at this very moment on this planet Earth. A mother giving birth to a new life, filled with joy in the midst of her pain. A kid laughing aloud with his friend at a joke. A friend giving freely part of his body, a kidney, to a dying friend. A father giving his life to his daughter. A heroic mother working 3 jobs to provide for her 4 children, a single mother. Great news. Those are the great news about the reality on this earth right now. And I bet someone is saying now, well, it's very cute to remind us of these things, but isn't the fact that darkness is winning over the light? Isn't the fact that darkness is always prevailing? The truth is actually, I don't believe the light can ever be weaker than darkness. Do you believe that when I say the light is always stronger than darkness? If you don't believe, well, I ask you just to wait for the midnight and go into your living room dark living room and just do the click on the wall. And you'll see how one click of a wall will turn the light, will bring the light and disperse the darkness. And this physical reality is also true for any kind of reality, spiritual or any other. Even a sparkle of light is stronger than the thickest darkness. And this is the fact I'm clinging to every day. So I believe you have to believe what I said. So where we are today, what is the point of this day and of the whole life we are living together in this community center in Belgrade? Well, the point is, when we are building the life together, is to generate as much light as possible, to be an oasis of light, the oasis of goodwill, oasis of fighting together, each individual fights in our life, to infuse each other with the hope that it's possible to find a home on each of our individual life journeys. This is the first good news, to heed it and be encouraged by it. Second, may you heed the good news about the future of this earth. Now I have to be very honest and very personal. The reason why I feel myself infused by hope in today's battles is that I strongly believe, I have a deep conviction that soon a bright future and bright earth is coming to replace this troubled earth. Why? Because I have a deep conviction that the creator of this earth, troubled earth, promised that the new earth of justice, of love, of joy, overflowing joy will replace this earth. And this is a very good news. Now again, when I say I believe the promise that creator of this earth and of all of us made this is the basis of my hope, some will say, well, Igor, my friend, it's very cute to remind us of this, but come on, you cannot be believing in these kinds of things. Well, my friend, I'm dead serious when I believe in them. Actually, if you just listen together with me, you'll hear what I hear. I hear approaching steps of this new earth. Steps that this new earth, new future is coming, is making, and nothing can stop it. Nothing at all. I hear echoes of this new world already here, feeling this whole and feeling, if I can be honest, my heart with hope and strength. And if I went mad, what kind of echoes do I hear? Well, I can tell you something. An echo of the new, bright, healthy world approaching is seen and heard in every single unselfish deed I see done by someone, in every sparkle of joy that I see on face, on many people, in every resilient heart in the middle of fights and struggles of life, in the middle of every kind word said, courage. Those echoes are the announcements of the new earth. And they are very real. They are kind of approaching army, nothing can stop, a good army. And this table, as Victor asked me to explain why this table is a symbol of this new earth. And the same creator said that the new earth will be introduced with a beautiful, abundant, most beautiful table full of everything good. And all the people who love joy and love and justice will be sitting there, regardless of nation and language and background. They will be sitting there together, eating together, being silent together, like brothers and sisters, like friends, sharing the life together, tears and laughs together. And this table is a symbol of that much better table approaching. Love then will reign. Love will reign. And it will cast away all fears. Pure joy will fill the hearts of all people. And the Creator will have the last and longest laugh. So if you allow me, this is not a proper drink, but this is the strongest liquid, they say, for a toast, because it can sink ships, they say. Allow me to give a toast to this new approaching world and to the Creator bringing this new approaching world to reality, slowly but surely. And may I salute our approaching home with unshakable faith and unshakable hope. So, my friends, rise, please, and say with me, may it come. May it come. May it come.
I really like that thought of hope, and thank you, Igor, for sharing that message. I'm looking forward to sharing the table in a few minutes. But look, here's a table. Look at this, and these lovely children. Do you see this display over here? My wife is the artist in our family, and I'm looking at this and thinking she would absolutely love this. I wish I had these skills. And the children here are having fun. It's fantastic. This gives me hope as these children grow up that they now have a future. And then you look this way, and these children here have been so busy with this ADRA display. If you look down, I think we've got maybe 5 holes that we can fill. And here, again, representing, Igor, what you've just said, we have got the dove of hope and peace. It gives us a future. The work that ADRA has been doing and so many other communities are doing, again, these children have got a future, as equally the parents behind here have a future, and all of the people that have been traveling and are finding community here. It is one happy ADRA family, and if it's an ADRA family, I guess, Jonathan, I have to talk to the man that is ADRA. You will detect a slight Australian accent here.
Just right.
Jonathan Duffy is the head of ADRA International. Your very first time in Serbia.
It is.
Shame on you.
Exactly.
But you're here and you've arrived, and in your first day you've come to the best place. How do you react to what you've been watching, listening to this morning?
Well, you know, if I look at a piece of ADRA's mission statement, is to work with people in poverty and distress to bring about positive and sustainable change. And really what I see here is I see those words in action, because that's what it really is. There's no point having a mission statement if it doesn't result in action. You know, ADRA is part of the Adventist church, and if I look at things as they're stated in the Bible, the time of judgment comes, and it says, and the king will separate people, and you know, the test is I was naked, I was hungry, I was thirsty. And you know, sometimes I think we're comfortable with some of those things, but then it goes on to say, I was a stranger within your gates. And, you know, at times I think that we are a little bit afraid of strangers. And we look at people and you know, the challenge is to not look at them as someone different, but look at them as the same as you. And I've been privileged enough to be able to travel to different parts of the world, and I've been to many of the communities that these people come from, and I've seen the burnt out wrecks of their houses and realize that they're no different to me. And when I begin to realize that they're no different to me, then my level of compassion changes, and I recognize the need to be able to create a safe place for them. And what, you know, particularly I'd like to really thank the team within Serbia, the ADRA team, the church team, the volunteers, because people need a safe place. They need a place where they can heal, where they can restore themselves. You know, it's important that we have programs of recreation, we have programs for livelihoods and education, because often when people are displaced, what they miss is education, and a whole generation misses education, which sets them back further. But I think even more important than all of those physical things is also the need for people to be able to reconnect, to gain a sense of community, to recognize a sense of belonging, to rediscover themselves as a spiritual being, as a holistic being. And I think that's what this center has really been able to do, and it's a wonderful example of ADRA's ministry.
Well, I was listening to what you're saying. My mind went to an iconic photograph that I saw about 3 years ago of a Serbian policeman kind of cuddling a little refugee child at the time when these tens of thousands of refugees were passing through every week. And in some cultures, you know, we saw some pictures from other places where maybe they weren't being treated so well. And that one iconic photograph of a Serbian policeman just cuddling that child, it's made a big impression on me. And that's what I'm seeing here today. And you see that story repeated in other places.
I do in other places. You know, sadly today, all that we're looking at is just as a small piece of the pie. You know, globally at the moment, there are over 65 million people who are displaced, either internally displaced or refugees. And you look at that around this world and you think, wow, what a human tragedy. But when you delve deeper and you go into stories like this, what you see beyond the tragedies, you see the hope that comes from people who are willing to share themselves, to reach out, to be a difference to others.
And hope is really what we're talking about today, both this morning in this program, specifically about Adra, Serbia, and this community center, and these wonderful people. This afternoon, we're going to take a slightly bigger picture, and we have Corrado. You saw him right at the beginning. You're hiding in the corner here. But Corrado has been involved with the refugee crisis in Europe, if you call it that, right from the beginning, when people were crossing over into Greece from Turkey. You were phoning me up and saying, Victor, we have to go there. We have to help. It's no use just watching it on the news. Why did you get involved?
Oh yes, because watch my smiling. Because I love these people, and I say we have to go there. We have to do some things. And you remember, we were also not only in Greece, also in Italy. So we have to do some things because we would like to share with them not only physical resources, but also our passion for them, love, respect, dignity. So for this reason, we started, and we started a journey together, Victor. And this journey is very long.
And sadly, actually, this is our third World Refugee Sabbath. We did one from Dunkirk, and then last year we were in Italy, and we hoped we wouldn't have to do another one. But the refugees are still there, and this afternoon, what are we doing?
Oh, this afternoon we will have a journey around the world. So we try to just to resume the world in how many hours we have this afternoon?
We have 2 hours, but it's going to go in a flash.
Oh yes, very flash. So fasten your seatbelt because the journey will be very long, very exciting. We will meet a lot of people, ADRA workers, church members, refugees, stories, and it will be exciting.
We'll be across Europe. We will be in Africa.
Yes.
We will be in Bangladesh. We even make a very brief visit into South America. It's going to be an exciting afternoon. You're going to want to tune back in to watch that. And
don't miss this journey this afternoon. This is very important.
Okay, thank you, Corrado. We will host that this afternoon. Get this smiling face in your mind because you're going to see him again.
It's natural.
He is Italian, you know. It smiles. It's good. It's happy, and we love it. And I have so much appreciated being here this morning with you. And you've been very good. You've not eaten too much food. You're not hungry, or you're just waiting to eat with me to share it. Isn't this a great group of people? And we need to come back because there's some art being going on. It's not finished yet, but, you know, art's important. As I said up there, my wife is the craft person, she's the artist, and I look at this and go, wow, if I was trying to paint that lion, it would probably look like an octopus. But it's good. The education that's going on here, it's good. The sport, the activities, the integration into the school system, and the extra help that's being given for that, it's all good. But I kind of have to make it personal as well because we're all in our communities. We all have our own stories. We all have our neighbors. And, you know, where I live in England, over the almost 20 years I've lived in the house I'm in now, it's moved from being where my wife was the only non-English person in the block to now my neighbor behind is Macedonian, my neighbors across are Polish, my neighbor on the other side is Pakistani. You know, we have, our world has changed and people are traveling, and sometimes they're traveling just because maybe I can get a better job or maybe there's family there, but often because there's violence at home. There's difficulties, there's war, there's disease. And I don't think it's actually my job to judge why people are moving. My job is to love. You know, in the Bible, in Isaiah 56, it talks about those people that accept the stranger, accept the foreigner, accept the person that's different, and they become part of the family. And so I'm really glad in this program to be part of this family. I feel now that I'm a part of ADRA Serbia. I want to come here and be taught Serbian. Igor, can you teach me Serbian? Not paid staff. No, that's okay. I want to thank you all for being here, for taking part. Some of you, it was a lot of courage because your English is getting better every day, but it takes courage to speak in it. Thank you for doing it. And those of you that are here on a journey, God bless you on that journey. And whatever your future holds, from the youngest child up to the oldest person here, just go with God and travel with God. Develop here in Serbia. Just thank you to all of you. Let me thank, there's a team behind here. Let me just thank the camera crew. They've done well. Those poor guys, they've had to listen to me in English as well. I was always told that English is the language of heaven because English people can't speak anything else. So thank you for understanding us, for the technical help you've given, for Daryl with Adventist Review and the live streaming, for our interpreter, Syed Ali, and for Miroslav Puic, who has directed this whole program. Thank you all for taking part, and God bless you, whatever your future may be.